Creating our own games from scratch is honestly one of the absolute best ways to spend quality time with the family. Today, we're jumping right into our explainer on homemade popsicle stick puzzles. It's not just about that final product sitting on the kitchen table. It's about the conversations, the teamwork, and the memories we're building along the way. So let's look at how we can literally turn everyday, unassuming items into hours of interactive fun.
Okay, let's dive into this because it begs a pretty surprising question. Did you know simple wooden sticks can actually train the mind? For all the parents and educators tuning in, it's so easy to overlook the humble popsicle stick. I mean, we usually just throw them away. But a handful of these ordinary, everyday wooden sticks can transform into an absolute engine for cognitive development. We don't always need flashing lights, expensive tech, or complicated rules to challenge a young mind. Sometimes the most effective tools are sitting right there in our craft drawer, just waiting to be unlocked.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. We're talking about building logical thinking, problem solving, hand-eye coordination, and artistic expression. This isn't just a basic run-of-the-mill craft meant to merely pass the time on a rainy afternoon. By designing, physically creating, and then solving their very own puzzles, kids are doing some serious cognitive heavy lifting. They have to understand how parts make up a whole, figuring out how an eye or a leaf spans across two separate broken-apart sticks. This activity seamlessly blends that precious family bonding time with powerful foundational brain training. It is quite literally learning disguised as pure fun.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast in our materials. On one side, we have our everyday items. This is your structural foundation. You'll just need about 6 to 10 standard wooden popsicle sticks, some masking or adhesive tape, and a pair of stable scissors or a craft knife. These are inexpensive, basic, and probably lost at the bottom of your craft drawer right now. But over on the other side, we have our creative items, the markers, the vibrant acrylic paints, and the crayons. This is where the magic really happens. These are the colorful tools that will let your family's imagination fly. It's amazing how combining the purely practical with the highly creative yields such an incredible interactive result.
So how do we actually get there? Well, it's a simple 4-step process. First, align the sticks vertically. Second, tape the back. Third, draw and let dry. And finally, separate to play. Let's briefly break down how to execute these to get the best results. Getting the foundation right is absolutely critical for a puzzle that actually works. For steps 1 and 2, you want to take your 6 to 10 popsicle sticks and align them vertically, side by side. You've got to make sure they're perfectly even at the top and bottom, and then apply your tape straight across the back. The logic here is simple but crucial. The tape keeps your temporary wooden canvas from shifting or sliding around while you're working on the front. Once your canvas is nice and secure, carefully flip those tape sticks over, and it's time for step 3. This is the moment to let your family's imagination run wild. You can paint a beautiful nature landscape, draw a wacky cartoon dog, or, maybe doodle a swirly galaxy. The beauty of this project is that the whole family can collaborate on this artwork directly on the wood. Grab the markers, mix those acrylics, and make it as vibrant as possible. Actually, the more colors and details you add, the more fun the puzzle will be to solve later. Just remember, once your collaborative masterpiece is finished, you must set it aside and let the paint or ink completely dry before moving forward.
Now, I want to pause the fun here for just a brief moment because safety always comes first. As this direct quote from our source heavily highlights, if it is necessary to use a sharp object, adult supervision is very important. Parents do this part. So the crucial point is that sometimes the wet paint or heavy markers can seep down between the cracks of the sticks, essentially gluing them together as they dry. If those dried sticks need to be separated using a scalpel, a craft knife, or sharp scissors to break that paint seal, well, that is strictly an adult's job. We want this to be a fantastic brain training exercise, not an unplanned trip to the first aid kit.
Let's move to and see how this builds to our grand finale. Step 4 is where all your family's hard work finally pays off. You simply peel away that masking tape from the back, scramble up those beautifully painted, now loose sticks, and start playing. Your fully customized puzzle is ready to be solved. And honestly, it is genuinely rewarding to watch a child piece together an image that they just helped create from scratch. Having that personal connection to the artwork completely transforms the way they engage with the game, making them far more invested in figuring out the logical solution. Which brings us to our final question for you today. What masterpiece will your family create today? We've seen how just a few simple popsicle sticks and some basic art supplies can become an excellent, highly creative way to train the mind and build core cognitive skills in children. It's logical problem solving, hand-eye coordination, and spatial awareness, all wrapped up in a beautiful, artistic package that you made together. I strongly encourage you to gather your materials, clear off that kitchen table, and start crafting this with your family immediately. Now go unleash that creativity.